Hello everybody and welcome everybody to CyberMeetUp in February 2026. Find yourself a seat, find yourself a snack. We're gonna get started in the CyberMeetUp today. We have a short but sweet lineup today for you. Like every time we have almost about like an hour worth of a program, and then after that we will allow you to just hang out, mingle, eat, drink, and talk to each other. Today we're going to have one of the big things that we usually do in Estonia in the Information System Authority, the Cybersecurity Centre, is that we publish every year this Cybersecurity in Estonia book. It is a sort of like an overview of threat landscape and what we do. And to get us started today, we have there's things on the table. There's both in Estonian and in English. So the English ones are also out. But to introduce this, I'm going to invite my colleague, good friend, Märt, come on up here. Talk to us. Tell us what is it that we have been seeing in the cybersecurity in Estonia this year. Wait.
Oh, it's on. I turned it off. Sorry. Thank you, Lauri. Good evening. My name is Märt. I'm here, I think, for the third time with the same issue. I think it's the fourth time it's being actually presented here. So it's still, this year's edition is still quite fresh. I mean, we got it from the printers a couple of weeks ago. I will try to be quite brief. The book is 60 pages. I will try to cover it in about 15-20 minutes. And don't let yourself be fooled by the year number there. This is a report issued in 2026 about the year 2025, or what went on last year. So the first ever Yearbook was actually already issued by a predecessor or a pre-predecessor of RIA in 2007. It was a small report, actually. It was about DDoS attacks that took place back then, and were the first ones to really get cyber into the public sphere here, basically. And now it's grown. I think it's the 12th consecutive year that it's been published, and I've been associated with 6 of those, and first of those I think we did it together with Lauri. So he's been also a contributor here previously. Right. The main number to take, well, one of the main numbers to take is number 0 critical incidents which really affected the Estonian society in 2025. I think it's fair to say this number has actually been 0 in most previous years. The 2007 DDoS I mentioned, that was a different story. You couldn't do online banking for days, and then it really had an influence. But this is much better now. Another number, first time ever, we registered a 5-digit figure of cyber incidents which had an impact, which were reported to us. And the growth was around 50% from the previous year. And just, as you can see, it's been growing year on year. I mean, before the war started in 2022, the growth was, well, a couple of hundred per year. Maybe there was a decline one year and growth in the other, but now the trend is very clear. And I think it will continue to be like that. Another thing you should remember is that 3/4, around 75% of all those incidents actually were different kind of scam and phishing. And I'm sure you have read or heard on the news that the scams are really out of control now in the country. It's a big thing now, and it needs to be tackled. There's also, for example, under 1,000 service disruptions. So that's about a bit less than 3 per day. So something is not working for a while. Could be something provided by the government. Could be banking. Could be train ticket buying. So it could be different things. But this has also actually happened quite a bit. But it's usually quite a small inconvenience. Still, luckily. Also to mention the cables, I mean, it would be weird not to. 31st December last year, I think 5 submarine cables were either cut or damaged during about 48 hours. But luckily this had no impact on anything because there were still more submarine cables which could then take over the load. Moving on, just mention the DDoS that's been prevalent here in all those presentations I've done on the yearbook previously. So more DDoS registered last year than the year before, but less DDoS attacks with an impact. So that's a good trend. Only about 12% of those had some impact, and nothing was too massive. It's maybe what is interesting, a bit interesting about the DDoS is that the sort of the pro-Russian groups continue to try to do them, but now last year we also had, for the first time, we observed that some of the attacks were carried out and coordinated by groups from different geographic regions, from the Middle East, North Africa, even Southeast Asia. And those were more active in the first half of the year. And there are two waves on the slide. Nothing major happened, but there were some pretty big numbers. I remember the one website got in about 15 minutes the same amount of traffic it would normally get over 34 years. So it was a pretty massive thing in that sense. And why is there this new phenomenon? It's because, like the pro-Kremlin groups see us as pro-Ukraine, the pro-Palestine, let's say, groups see us as pre-Israel, and that's why they don't like it, and that's why they try to attack us sometimes. And those two sort of broad groups or coalitions also cooperate sometimes, join into each other's campaigns, for example, because some of their adversaries like us or other EU, NATO countries overlap. So that's why we have witnessed that. Then there was about 10 ransomware attacks last year. In Estonia, the number has been pretty stable. For the last couple of years before that, it was 0 for a few years as well. It's not as massively spread, or at least we don't know about it in RIA than globally. And the impact has been also rather small compared to what we witnessed in other countries. Probably heard about the Land Rover plant being closed in Britain for weeks, and I think the total loss there was about a couple of £2 billion, which stem from that. So we've been luckier here. Some companies have had ransomware and they've paid or not paid. There was a cinema thing, which I mentioned here also in October when I did the presentation. So that was the most prominent, I think. They needed to build their system from scratch, and you couldn't buy tickets online for a while. The scams I mentioned. So before last year, the total losses that the population suffered from scammers was around 7-ish million, I think, for a couple of years. And now there's like a 3+ times surge upward. The schemes have gotten better as well, of course, but we think that where we see that one factor here is also that in contrast with with the previous trend that you would get phone calls from scammers in Russian or very poor Estonian has been replaced by native Estonian speakers calling you. So this is, we think, also a reason behind the number of the total losses being that much higher. And here, some of the best clients they had last year were people who actually were accountants for a company, and thus could be embezzled out of company funds. One company lost 1.5 million euros in such a way, and now is in court with said accountant. Also, the number of reported security vulnerabilities globally again rose last year. It's now almost 50,000, and the time to exploit those has gone down to minutes sometimes. So that's again a worrying trend, and which probably will result in more and more incidents. Then we talk about China in the yearbook. A colleague of mine was here a couple of times, a couple of events ago, talking about China as well. I think the first yearbook I introduced here 3 years ago didn't mention China, and probably the next one didn't either. So it's still comparatively like a new threat that we are looking at. Try to deep dive into it and be better in preventing it. And it's a difficult topic, and it's here to stay. It will not go away, as cyber is part of the means that Beijing wants to use to become the most powerful country in the world by 2049. The title, initially I wrote Beijing duck, but then I Wikipedia'd it, and the book also says Peking duck, and the dish apparently is called Peking duck, not Beijing duck in English. So that's why it says Peking duck. There's also a chapter about Russia, so we called Russian bears because all of their APTs are called a fuzzy bear or comfy bear or laundry bear, so it's bears. It's also similar, they use cyber to get their political goals or security objectives fulfilled. And their APTs right now are mostly focused on Ukraine, and as such, in this country we have mostly only witnessed the DDoS that I spoke about previously. They are focused, yes, on Ukraine, but again, last year, I mean, the same number 0 could be there for Ukraine in a sense that, to our information, they did not suffer any society-wide or major cyber incidents the last year, which is a surprise. It's a positive surprise, because previously there have been very major incidents there taking place during and before the war. They remain the most APT-targeted nation in Europe, and attacks go against all the critical sectors. But last year was good, and the piece on Ukraine in the yearbook is in a form of interview like the year before, and it's the same guy. It's the head of the agency which is responsible for the digital defense of the country, and he says that even if there will be a peace treaty as such this year, that will of course not mean any peace in the cyber domain. There's also quite an interesting chapter there about our cyber reserve and the massive exercise we had on that last year in November. So together with Elering, which is the electricity and gas transmission system operator, we acted a scenario where the whole of country was in danger of a blackout because of Russian APT had gained access to the systems. It was very useful. It was a tabletop plus technical exercise. It also had an international dimension, and we learned from it, and hopefully Elering learned from it, and we can do and develop this even better in the years to come. I'm almost finished. There is a traditional chapter there about what this year or the current year would bring. I put there the record number of incidents now with a question mark in brackets because January was quite a bit lower than the January before, year before. But I don't actually think it will impact the overall number that much by the end of the year. But let's see. Maybe to mention here also the Nordic-Baltic Cyber Consortium, which is now trying to get itself up and running. So it's all the 8 countries, 7 now, but the 8th will join, I think, next year. They should be now moving towards like common threat analysis and common channels to interact and exchange information, and thus get a better threat picture overall and enable us, all those countries, to defend their cyberspace better than before. Hopefully that will be a success story, and I'm very, at least I am very much looking forward to it really becoming a success story. Also, last year, RIA established a SOC, or Security Operations Center, for RIA. So now that all RIA's services are monitored 24/7, and now we are moving towards that in a wider format. It means that in a few years' time, all the government services should be monitored centrally 24/7. And this year is a key step in that direction, if all goes well. Final slide is to say that CERT, which is probably the most prominent structural unit or department of RIA, everybody knows CERT. Maybe some people don't know it's part of RIA, but it is, and it is the first line of cyber defense. They will be 20 this year. So there is a story in there about that, and all the previous and also the current head of CERT will have their sentences, some quotations there, which are, I think some of them are pretty catchy. So please do look it up, and long may it continue for another 20 and more years. So thank you very much. I'm done.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I would like to give the floor to one question from the audience as well, but let me ask a question first. The 10,000 number, you know, this is something that everybody's going to be like focusing on in the media and everything like that. So it's huge and it's growing, and everything is there. How much of that 10,000 is due to actual improved, I don't know, reporting or discovery, and how much do you think is about like things getting much worse in the society?
I think it's 50-60 or 6-7. How you, as you say. I mean, I'm sure it's also more reporting, because cyber is more and more in the public domain, I think, and you can read about it. But it also, I think, it is because there is just a bigger number of calls to people who get scammed. This is also that. There are some AI powered things as well. I mean, DDoS, for example. But I mean, this, I don't think this is really, like I said, the 0 is the main number. The first number is 0, so it's nothing majorly concerned. There's nothing to be majorly concerned about on the 10,000 part. Yes.
All right. Is there a question from the audience as well? Märt will be here and he will answer all your questions. Oh, there's a question right back there. Just give me a second, I'll get back to you. Introduce yourself and...
Hi, Joseph from Elektrilevi. So what is the final assessment? Was this year better than the year before or not?
You mean better for the bad guys or for us or us? No, I mean, all things considered, I think, I mean, I cannot speak for the whole of the cyber community, but for RIA and cyber and RIA, I think we try to get better and develop every year. And even though there were more incidents, I think we matured. And I think it's better than the year before. And hopefully this year will also be better than last year.
Thank you so much. Another applause, please, to Märt. All right, we're going to continue. And for the first time in our cyber meetup history, we had this weird thing occur where a presenter ended up not being as well to stand up here with us today. So Dr. Marko Arik is just recently defended his thesis in January. He really wanted to be here, but unfortunately he had to stay home. But we didn't want to actually let him go so easy that, you know, we'll get him next time or something like that. So we got him on I think Zoom or what is this? Skype? No, it's not Skype anymore. You know, and we decided to actually do an online talk so we could ask Dr. Arik about what is it that you wrote in that PhD thesis and how, you know, like how does it feel to be a doctor? Right. Can you hear us and can we hear you?
Yes. Yeah. All good.
Yeah, good. All right, take it away.
So let's see where my slides are. Good evening. I'm very sorry that I could not attend physically. There is an echo at least in my side. Now it's gone. Yeah, I have a quite bad cough, but nevertheless, I try to provide you entertainment for the next 15 minutes. It's quite a challenge to present your 4 years research in 15 minutes. I'll skip some parts, but I will highlight a significant part. So my thesis was about planning, developing, and execution of cyber operations in the information environment. And I defended my thesis 12th of January, so just 5 weeks ago. So let's dive in. As all the theses, you have to have a unique problem statement. And in short, to recap, NATO affiliated cyber exercises demonstrate that operational level offensive cyber operation planning represents a developing field. Secondly, cyber headquarter teams often face challenges in maintaining situational awareness and conducting planning within the logical layer. And thirdly, the definition of offensive cyber operation planner competencies and cyber operations organization structures remains an evolving area requiring additional research. So a bit relevant background, since 2019, I was Cyber Headquarters Commander Deputy in the exercise Crosswords. Next year, Chief of Operations in Crosswords 2020. Next year, Headquarter Commander in Crosswords. Also, I am currently Estonia Defence Forces Cyber Operation Commander in Reserve. And when we started doing these cyber operation planning exercises, there were no formal training framework for planners. There were no established organization structures for cyber planning staff also. The cyber operation planning relied heavily on individual expertise, and there were no specialized digital tools for planning. So this was motivation enough to me to start researching and writing some science. So the thesis has 3 aims. The first aim was to define a competency framework for OCO planners. The second aim to design and propose optimized organization structure for cyber headquarters, red teams and blue teams. And lastly, to develop and validate operational planning situation awareness tool. So let's see how it went. So I'll recap this, but there were 3 research questions which had 3 in each sub-questions. But in short, the first one was what competencies acquired for OCO planners? The second one, what should be the optimal organization structure for CEO? And it divides to red teams, blue teams, and cyber commander headquarters structure. And the last one was about the tool. How can operational planning and situation awareness in cyber operation be enhanced, in short. So now we have established the problem statement, we have research questions, and now we only need to have answers. So during my 4 years of research, I actually participated in several exercises and published several papers and interviewed a lot of smart people. And this is just one of the highlights. So I'm really proud of that result, because as PhD stands, you have to establish some new knowledge that didn't exist before. And for that, question 1.3, what framework, including training plan, is required to develop a OCO planner? So in my publication number 3, which is part of the thesis, there is dataset 1, and it's this actual framework. And in short, it consists that the OCO planners shall include 78 unique knowledge areas, 44 skills, 34 abilities, and there is also custom training plan which includes 9 specialized courses. So that's a full framework, validated and ready to be used in any developing cyber command or exercise environment. So the second one, what is the optimal organization structure for red teams? Just point out some key findings. Some of them are quite straightforward, but still in academic literature they're not been published. So red teamers require specialized tools, infrastructure, separate planning time. It's longer than, for example, in blue teams. Good team leaders and harmonized team. The harmonized is mean by competence. You cannot have in one team like one is very bad and 10 is very good competency and a mix of that. They need to be harmonized in quite equal competency levels. And the next one will be figure, but to explain a bit the figure, the red team structure in exercise consists of net, they target infrastructure and communication, client side that attack user devices and application, and web that attack web application targets. And the significant part is also access management. They share already gained accesses. So this is the result of the findings. Basically, the optimal organization structure for red teams in exercise settings. So led by from the top, led by red team leader. He has 2 deputies. One of the deputies on the left side in the red box has is kind of a non-technical secretary that relates to white team, and there below that are the actual teams, client side, net web, access management, and there are thin line between. There is no hard line because the focus of my thesis were operational level, but in this structure there is no hard line between operational and tactical. So there is just this dotted line that this is kind of a mental line between operational and tactical level. And the smallest unit is battle bear, and this is also significant. There is no individuals. The smallest unit is battle bear, The reasoning behind that is that if you get a single person to point a task, they will get stuck. So at least 2 persons to conduct a cyber operation tactical engagement. So this is it for the red team. So next one is about the blue teams. Our famous lock shields, they have many blue teams, and they've been experimenting with the structures. And luckily, the year that I did the research on it, the Finnish blue team won, and it is quite similar. So a couple of highlights. The winning team had 11 elements. So 11 element is a box on the structure, like here on the example, like a commander, a legal aid, forensic and technology capabilities. So to emphasize, the winning team had 11 elements and 54 personnel in total, which in mathematically averaging 4.9 personnel to structure element. So this was at that time key to victory. And next is also these top teams, let's say top 5 successful teams have standard skill set, prioritize strategic planning, and they rely heavily on customized tools as well, like the red teamers. And to summarize, the optimal structure for lock shields blue team may consist of 11 elements and 55 personnel, including commander, legal, forensic, and technological capabilities. So let's move on to the cyber headquarters. So this is also a big part of the research. And since I participated, I think 5 times in this headquarter planning, and in 2019 in Riga, we started with basically nothing. And during these iterations of exercises, the structure got better and better and better. And now I can claim that this is the optimal organization structure for cyber headquarters when acting a training audience. And to highlight some points, key roles include also from the top commander, legal in the advisors box, also chief of staff, and units responsible for command and control and operation planning. So this is basically the minimum as the headquarters is capable to manage operations. And another significant thing is still that the focus is on maintaining situational awareness. That's why the structure has information manager in the middle, because there are a lot of reports going in and out, and there need to be a dedicated entity to handle the data. And of course, analysts and tactical units are integrated during the execution phase. Those are highlighted with dotted lines. So that's only the difference pre-planning and during the execution. And imagine that you have to learn some exquisite language by tomorrow. Let's say for me, Spanish, which I really like. And I don't know any words like garçon, and that's it. I don't have the time to go to school to take a course. But the fastest way is to add experienced mentors that accelerates the effectiveness of decision making. So that's it from the CHQ side. And basically, the last research question was around the tool. The aim was to get higher level of technically ready, technical readiness level tool, but academically it was still a prototype. But nevertheless, we have something actionable, and I have some few eye candies left in the slides. So, but my research identified 30 user requirements, and I identified those through literature review and expert interviews. And I emphasize experts because it's really challenging to get on record offensive cyber operation planners. So those are really rare breed in the world, especially when you want to have academically validated interview. And I gathered those user requirements and validated those in an online survey. The survey was basically May to July 24, and significant part is that 22 different nations participated in that survey, which is, by my point of view, I'm very happy with the result, because basically all the offensive cyber operation planners around the world had a say in these user requirements. And for the tool, this is the tool we actually used in 2021 in crossword exercise. I'm sorry for the quality, but it's the only remaining image of ongoing operational planning. There are a lot of unique and new features that didn't exist. As you heard, that red team had specialized tools and blue teams have specialized tools, but the cyber headquarters planners, the officers who actually need to maintain the overview of operation, and they had Excel and PowerPoint, and we started even with the drawing board, whiteboard. So this was the first time in exercises that had a specialized planning tool and overview of overview of operational area. And I have one more slide, so I'm quite good on time. Take a breather. And in that sense, I have defended my thesis, but research still continues. I'm still involved in these operational activities, and we are developing a new prototype, dynamic asset response tracking and strategic planning, in short, DARTS. We have it registered in our company as an internal prototype, and we are planning to get it pre-live on this year's May, which aligns with the Spring Storm exercise, which is the biggest land-based exercise in Estonian Defence Forces. And still today, 2026, there is no off-the-shelf product. So this is the prototype. It's a snapshot from a live operational environment, and a lot of new features. For first of all, like 3D view and a lot of more things, but I won't go into detail. And basically that's it, what I got. And thank you for listening.
Thank you very much. Let's hear the applause. Did you hear the applause?
Yes, thank you very much.
All right, so I'm gonna ask a question from my side here. The tool that you just showed and the research that has gone behind it, it's an internal corporate prototype, something. So does that mean that you either have to pay your company millions and millions of euros to play with it, or is there any possibility that this research can be, like practically used by others as well to build similar things? Or what's that tool for? Who is it for?
So basically, to be honest, I'm currently working at Enefit Power as a CISO, and I have 3 different power plants. And my first intent was to create operation area overview. What are my assets? What is going on? And this, the last figure represents this operation technology environment. It's a galaxy. There are tens of separate networks, separate vendors and systems, and I need to have overview of my assets and to plan basically, from my point of view, IT and cyber operations. In case of a cyber attack, where do I cut off? what are the risks, and that's the first goal. And secondly, what about the sharing? We develop it in-house, and I plan to use it also in the Defense Forces exercises. So when we get it like pre-live, so it's documented, it's stable. I tend to share it with Estonian Defense Forces Cyber Command and try to use this in the upcoming cyber operation planning exercises. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Another applause for Marko. Hopefully you'll be able to join us in the next times as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Right. So we're going to continue here. You'll probably be able to, obviously you can read Marko's thesis online because it's a doctoral thesis. It's a, then you can get many more answers, I hope, but a lot more questions probably by reading a doctoral thesis there as well. We're going to continue because, and now that we heard about preparing different exercises, we're gonna hear about exercises a little bit more. Cross source was mentioned, lock shields was mentioned. Jack, come on up here. Tell us about the new lock shields this year. What's up? How are you doing?
Will do. Thank you, Larry, and thank you for the perfect setup. I could have not asked for a better one myself. So, quick show of hands. Who was here for my talk in March of last year? Oh, wow. I know you were here. Oh, hey, John. Cause. This is my support group. Yeah, I'm sorry. Well, I'm saying hi anyway. Hey there, I see you. You like that guy's hoodie? It's quite fashionable. Oh, tough crowd. All right. Great. So, my name is Jack. I am the United States rep to the NATO Cooperative Cyber Defense Center of Excellence, one of the more unique institutions, I believe, here in Tallinn, Estonia. It's my pleasure to be here for, I'll call it 3 winters now, and look forward to talking to you guys about one of the cooler things we do, one of the more hands-on and more unique exercises in the cyber world, and one that you all will have a chance to get involved with should you want to. So bear with me. Okay, first, what is a NATO Center of Excellence? I have to clarify this because I get weird questions all the time. Not to get too deep into the details, but NATO has several commands. There's the Allied Command for Operations, which is probably what you think about when you think of NATO. When we're talking about moving tanks, moving soldiers, moving cyber teams, that is the operational side of things. The NATO Allied Transformation Command is the organization that certifies but does not organize NATO CCDCOE, which is where I work. For us, we have our certification means that we are adhering to their standards. We take requests for services from them sometimes. We help work with NATO, but we mainly produce doctrine, we do training, we provide classes, and we run exercises like lock shields and cross swords. So we are a NATO institution. We're probably not doing what you think of when you think of NATO. I would equate us to something along the lines, but not quite like a NATO-aligned think tank. Does that make sense to everyone? Okay, great. If it doesn't, I didn't hear you, sorry. All right, so there are a bunch of centers of excellence all around North America and Europe. I'm not gonna go read all of these for you, but just so you know, not all centers of excellence are created the same. Some of the ones that are interesting are the Strategic Communications Center of Excellence in Riga, the Energy Security Center of Excellence in Vilnius. Oh boy, senior moment there. Thank you, Kaz. And some of the new one includes the Space Operations Center of Excellence in Toulouse, France. And just an example of how special we are, not all centers of excellence are created the same. We have 39 nations in our NATO certified Center of Excellence. Can someone tell me how many nations are in NATO? 32. So we are so popular and so cool because we live in Estonia, and it's definitely cool here, that we have a lot of non-NATO nations that come join us. They send representatives here, they work with us, we learn to work together, we produce cyber doctrine, and we train together. So that's an important thing that a city like Tallinn can provide the world. Speaking of these 39 nations, here they are on a map. You can see all 32 NATO nations. And of the 7 non-NATO nations, we have Ireland, Austria. I'm going to forget one. It's going to kill me, so please don't count. Ireland, Austria, Switzerland, Australia, South Korea, Japan, and of course, Ukraine there. And all working together, all learning together, and all learning to operate with each other. So it's a really cool thing that we have here. And we're not too far away. We have a whole lot of events, including lock shields that I'm about to talk about. We have another exercise called cross swords, which is a little closer held. If you're interested in learning how to do stuff like that, maybe become part of lock shields first, so we get to know you, and then we'll let you into our other cooler exercise, or other really cool exercise, I should say. And of course, we have another event called CyCon, the International Conference on Cyber Conflict, that happens at the end of May. If you're interested in participating, tickets go on sale in March. If you're interested in participating but maybe don't have money for a ticket, or if you're a student, come talk to me afterwards. There are ways to get you in for free. You can volunteer, help run the thing, meet everyone there. It's going to be a great conference this year. It's going to be tremendous. All right, so talking about lock shields. It is the world's largest live fire cyber exercise. What does it mean by live fire? It means it's not a hack the box. It's not a scripted exercise. There is a script, there is a plan, but we have real hackers there planning, adjusting to see how people defend. And because now it's 2026, and whereas when I was growing up, eons ago, cyber was a cool little thing that us nerds did in the garage or in the computer room of our house, and the rest of the world didn't care, didn't know what we did, now cyber is a part of everything. So to practice a real effective cyber exercise, you need to give it context, because cyber doesn't just happen. Ransomware doesn't just happen, like because someone thinks it's funny. It's because someone needs money. Why does someone need money when they can't get it in some other way that doesn't involve the threat of them getting arrested or extradited? It's because of the geopolitical context of what happens. And so to support that, we've created a whole world for lock shields and our other exercises too. So I'm the American in the room. I recognize these are some fictional islands. If you don't, then I'd love to talk to you. So this is the UK, this is Ireland. This is the nation of Brillia, always getting invaded by the nation of Crimsonia. These are some islands in the middle there that may have been artificially enlarged to become something they can fight over. There's tons of energy infrastructure there. Up here is another nation of Notoria that's kind of like a NATO nation, a simulated NATO nation. And down here is another nation, Revalia, which is kind of like a Switzerland nation, kind of neutral. So I'll get into why we do that later. We do that soon. And now, because of unfortunate events that are happening on this continent, we have felt the need to expand this. So, obviously, these are the nations I just talked about. And over here are some more fictional islands and more fictional nations. And just as we've seen now, not just Europe reaching out to touch other continents, but other continents participating in wars in Europe, both in the cyber and in the physical realm. That's something we simulate because, again, train like you fight, and things are happening in this world. And that is one of the things that makes lock shields so unique. Everyone still with me? Am I talking too fast? Really? Oh, wow. First time. Okay. And so just to bring it all home for everyone, we have a nation getting invaded by another. We've got neutral nations. We have nations that are trying to support the nation being invaded. And then we have nations on the other side of the world supporting the invaders and supporting the nation being invaded. And so, of course, again, we don't just do this because it's fun, even though it is really fun. We do it because it gives a logic and it gives a motive to all the cyber actors that we have in our made-up world. So, at the core of lock shields, it's always a cyber game. We have technical systems for our poor nation of Brillia that always get attacked and defended every year. We have 40-some nations that participate. Of the 40-some nations, they cram themselves into 17 blue teams. You're in a cyber meetup. Hopefully you just did some math. And of course, that means you have more than one nation in every blue team. We are the Cooperative Cyber Defense Center of Excellence. We force different nations to work together. Of course, we do allow them to choose their teammates, so it's not like elementary school when you got forced into a team with someone you don't like. But it's part of our mandate there so people from across the world can learn to trust each other, learn from each other, and hopefully improve their skills together. So the technical game, what happens is we produce critical infrastructure. We take the software images, we work with industry, we work with developers. We have virtualized systems here. We clone one for every different blue team. They're hosted on CR14. If you don't know what that is, ask around. Someone will tell you here pretty fast. And then the blue teams defend them. And like I said, our world-class elite red team gets together, and they always smash into the blue teams. And so, of course, cybersecurity doesn't just end when your system has been hacked, when you've been compromised. After you've been hacked, after you've been compromised, as anyone who's been in cybersecurity will tell you, the best, and by best I mean absolute worst part of the job begins, where you have to root the hackers out of your system and you have to recover everything and then figure out how much of your data ran away. So it's realistic. We got real people with real world experience helping us here. Now, this is the other cool part here. Cyber touches everything now, right? It touches autonomous systems. Facebook, social media, it's all kind of cyber, especially with AI here. We're not simulating kinetic war here, but what we have also expanded LockShields to is the information environment, because it is cyber enabled. And as we have seen in the world, I think a lot of the hackers that are coming after our nations, after our systems, probably sit across the hall from some of the people that run social media campaigns or disinformation campaigns and attack us cognitively. So we have a cool company called Conductor out of the UK. They have a simulated AI-powered internet. There's an AI-powered Facebook. I don't know if you guys can see this, AI-powered Facebook, YouTube, Google, X, Telegram, Outlook, Instagram. No TikTok, because we're old. But this is a thing that helps give context to the nations and our cyber conflict. So, like I said, I've been saying for the past couple minutes here, cyber conflict doesn't happen in a vacuum. We have a technical game going on, a nation being attacked, and at the same time, we have a lot of the non-technical people that oversee the cyber forces, cyber teams, national search, cyber commands in their nations. They participate in the non-technical portion of LockShields called StratX, where we say things like, say the banking system in your country has just been hacked. Now, there's no such thing as EBT. You can't move funds around electronically. The only thing that works is cash, right? I don't know the last time that's happened, but if it does happen and some finance guy goes on TV and says, oh my God, cash is the only thing that works, and you look in your wallet and you're used to having a credit card or NFC transactions, what happens? You freak out, you run to the ATM, you probably get into a fist fight with the rest of the people on the line because now cash is the only way you can buy food. So if your national government or that national government had maybe come to LockShields and come to the StratX and seen that scenario, they would have thought, oh, okay, we need to get a communication strategy together. We need to talk to the central bank, maybe have a way, pre-position cash, a way to calmly get the message out. And because, again, cyber doesn't happen in a vacuum, that's one of the things we do that other people don't. Speaking of communications, like I just showed you guys all, we have all the social media networks except TikTok simulated on there. We have disinformation campaigns happening, and we have people trying to explain to the simulated public what's going on. Systems will go up, will go down. Our AI denizens will start tweeting somehow, even without power or without 5G, that they've lost everything. And it's up to the people playing the part of the national government to communicate in a safe and true manner to their simulated citizens of what is going on. And last but not least, we have the legal game. Are there any lawyers in here? Oh, I'm sorry. But the legal game, just like we've been talking about, cyber war doesn't happen in a vacuum. Just like in a real war, you can't randomly kill civilians or blow up hospitals just for the fun of it. In cyber war, you can't take down hospitals. You shouldn't be going after certain kinds of infrastructure. And if it does happen to your country, you can't just go and knock out the other countries. There's legal restrictions and proportionality and stuff like that. Again, I'm not a lawyer, so I couldn't explain it to you, but it is something that is rather unique to LockShields. So we're the world's largest live-fire cyber exercise. Like I said, 40 nations, 17 teams, 6,000 VMs, and 8,000 attacks over 2 really hectic days. We work with private industry all the time. Believe us, we are not a giant multi-billion-dollar corporations. We can't develop infrastructure out of nothing. We work with industry, work with academia. We work with anyone that can help us, either on the purely technical side, on the communication side, or anything else. So, I got a few pitches for you here. If you are in a cybersecurity startup, we want to talk to you. LockShields 2026 is taking place at the end of April. If you have some kind of cybersecurity software that is new, that you think would be good, we want to talk with you. We're not going to give it or force it to everyone, but what we will have is a blue team marketplace. We will offer it to the national teams sent from all of these 40 different nations. you'll have a chance to pitch it, so to speak. You'll have a website. You're not going to be able to Zoom call everybody, or maybe you can talk yourselves into it. But it is a chance that we can give you for free, assuming we verify you're not a nutcase and your software kind of does what it says, to get some exposure. So that's something we can do for you. For Lock Shields 2027, if you're interested, you have some kind of cyber-enabled system, whether it be a drone or some other kind of defensive system. We are looking for startups to produce systems alongside big players like Siemens, like the air defense system, like SANS, like power distribution, like the power generation systems, to be hacked and defended. If that is something you're interested in, reach out. You can come talk to me. I'll be sitting over here after I'm done talking. There will be a chance for you to come to Lock Shields 2026. We have what's called a Distinguished Visitor Day for industry. You'll be able to walk around. You'll see the exercise firsthand. You'll talk to some of the team leads. You'll talk to the people that write the technical infrastructure, people that are leading the attack teams, maybe even some of the people leading the defensive teams. You can get a better sense of the exercise and see if it is something you're interested in participating in. I will not promise anyone here that we will take your software. I will not promise you that your thing's going to go great and we're going to send you to the moon or whatnot. But it is a chance we can give to the community here, the cybersecurity and the startup community, to get involved with a world-class international exercise. You can find out what you're really made of. Yep, so, and on top of that, like I said once already, CCDCOE, we don't have $1 billion budget. I really wish we did, because I need a better heating system in my office. But we are always looking to work with people. If you are just starting out in cybersecurity, you don't have a startup, that's fine. One of the things I kind of glossed over is we have a user simulation team. How do most cyber attacks start? You send a phishing email to some well-meaning person that wants to be rich or really would like to know that Nigerian prince, or am I not supposed to say that anymore? Yeah, okay. You guys know what I'm talking about. So we start out with a user simulation team. Most of them are undergraduate students. You get to be the attack vector, you get to talk with the red teams and the blue teams, and you get your foot in the door on the exercise. If you are a developer, but maybe not part of a startup, we have the green team that will build the infrastructure for a made-up country that we talked about that gets trashed by the red teams. Maybe it kind of hurts to see your beautiful creation get destroyed, but welcome to cybersecurity. If you really, really think that you are a world-class cybersecurity expert, a world-class hacker, you are welcome to come interview for our red team. We got some really good people, some participants that are in this room that I know. I will say, our red team lead, every 6 hours, he goes up and he broadcasts to all the blue teams, and he will say something like, "Blue team 17, you forgot to change your default passwords." Or he'll say, "Hey, blue teams, we're coming after the web servers next. Make sure they're all patched appropriately." He will say that to their face. 6 hours later, he'll step up there again. He'll say, "Blue team 4, you forgot to do your patching. You want to know how I know?" And then he'll say something that, So, and if you think you're that good, where you can taunt someone to their face, tell them how you're going to get into their systems, and then you can still pwn them, we want you. So, I'll be sitting there, come talk to me, and if maybe you're not a technical person, like I said, we have the legal game if you're a lawyer. We have the communications game if you're into that kind of stuff, and we have the policy game if you're cyber adjacent and just want to get more into the field. And if you're into management or leadership, we're always looking for new blood all up and down the ladder, so please come talk to me. I want to have the conversation. That's all I have. Any questions?
Applause first.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Applause first, and then again, the any questions stands. Go. There's a microphone.
Thank you for a good presentation. I think last year was also about Lock Shields, and I think Adrian was presenting. I asked a couple of things. I think you're still missing, or maybe you implemented these things. I think two general things. One is general public. Half of the cyber attacks are made to convince general public that government cannot protect itself, basically shock and awe. Do you measure the shock and awe effect by, for example, defacements and DDoSes and these kind of things? And the second thing, I think, is a diplomatic level. basically, well, some country attacks on other countries, there should be like some things on UN level and these kind of things. Are you implemented these, or are you planning, are these things on your table?
So first of all, thank you for that great question. I'll recall you back to the AI-powered internet that we have. So like I said, we have an AI-powered internet with Twitter and a Facebook and a YouTube and whatnot. Now, obviously, we don't have a real population that we can cut the power off and turn off the water and whatnot. We have an AI approximation of a population. If you know a few million people that are willing to be part of our exercise like that for free, let us know. We'll be happy to talk to them. But yes, and so based on that, they'll get, all the tracks are linked together. So when Blue Team 4, their little part of Brillia, the country, loses power, I made the joke already once, but like everyone in that state will start tweeting somehow about, you know, oh my God, we lost power, what's happening? Then the attackers in the information space will start tweeting, oh my God, your government sucks, look at you, they can't protect you, why do you support them? Come support us, we're awesome. And it will be up to the blue team in the information space to counteract the bad campaign and also get the messaging out. So that is part of our communications track, a co-equal track that part of Lock Shields. Now, to the diplomacy, that probably falls into our strategic game, the policy game. There is a bit of diplomacy and national policy in there. Am I out of time?
No, you are, but
okay.
it doesn't matter, no.
But I'm so tremendous, you guys are hanging on every word, yes. So yes, we do have all that because once again, cyber war does not happen in a vacuum. We need people from all walks of life.
Another applause, please. All right, thank you so much, thank you.
If you'd like to know more, I'll be sitting there.
Absolutely. Come and talk to people after this. But still, give us a couple more minutes because we want to tell you a little bit, you know, on the other side of, we've heard about some trainings and exercises, but we do care about a little bit more than, we do care about the next generation and skills and talent development in general in cybersecurity. So my colleague Tiina will come up here and tell you about an opportunity to discuss maybe within your organizations, to your bosses or to your HR. But tell us what you got. What are we offering?
Hi, as Laura said, next generation, skills, workforce, and I'm up on the stage again. So my name is Tiina, and I will share you a problem what we have seen, and we'll see what to do about it. So one part of the problem is that everybody is looking for a workforce or experts with experience on the field. And European, some research says like 300,000 people is missing in the EU currently. And on the other side, we have students who are looking for internship positions. They're looking them and they are sometimes struggling with it. And for example, IT houses have internship program where there are applicants, sometimes 20 persons for one place. And what we have seen also, some of the cybersecurity companies, big companies are having internship programs and they see the similar rate. So we can see that, for example, experts are on the one side, everybody needs them, they're students, but we don't have really good breach over there yet. So for the solution, we don't have it yet. Yes, that's an honest thing to say, and I think it's important to say it out. And that's where we are looking help from you, so that you could share your point of view with this problem. What do you see? Why don't you want to take interns, if you have taken them? What's the benefits? What you have seen to be problematic with this? And how can we overcome these barriers? So next month, on 19th of March, I would like to welcome everybody who has ideas to come to yapping session, or if you want to say it more political way, a round table, where you can share your ideas on that matter. I will try to gather them, and then maybe we can do something about it and help more internships to interns to enter the workforce and become the experts that we all need very much. So 19th of March will be the next meetup session, and we'll come just 2 hours earlier. If you plan to come, I will be thankful if you email me or just let me know otherwise, but it's fine if you just come on site as well. So thank you. And I will be here if you want to discuss it today as well. Just come to me and let's talk.
Yeah, what's your email?
You know, it's old slides. It used to have like QR code and something so you can fill in the form and so on. So, but my email is tina.pau@ria.ee, and I have 2 eyes, you know, 2 eyes here, 2 eyes in my name.
tina.pau@ria.ee. All right. Yeah, all right. Give it another round of applause. Thank you, Tiina. This is exactly like she said. We are actively trying to engage with you, our community members, to find some sort of... Oh. Right there. Cool. Right. All right. Before we go, there is one final announcement to anybody who remembers. We have this. There is one slide that I want to really show here as well. Right. This one. So we have this thing, a cybersecurity innovation grant. We've talked about this a couple of times. It is for companies who would like to do some work with research organizations, and we are hoping that you, in your companies, would be interested in that. So to make you more interested in that, so we thought that maybe we could actually introduce you to some of those research organizations, not only in Estonia, because we've had the Tartu University on this stage, TalTech University on this stage, Cybernetica on this stage. I mean, like, they've been here. But who we haven't introduced you to is maybe some of our colleagues across the bay. So we thought we could, you know, like, take somebody who is interested in this innovation grant and maybe take you to Finland, to land far, far away. So we decided to put together a little bit of a research partner finding mission to Finland with the aim of meeting with universities and research organizations to Jyväskylä and the Helsinki-Espoo area. The time is 26th to 27th of March. Actually, I think we're going to expand it to the day before, the 25th to 27th. So it's a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday sort of a thing, 2 nights, 3 days. I think 5 or 6 meetings. And well, it's basically a similar thing as business diplomacy usually goes. You know, if your company is interested, then we as RIA, we are there to open doors and make introductions. You are there to pay your own way and your own lodging. But details are coming. Our colleague Anni, who couldn't be here today, is going to be the contact person, Anni Aleksandrov. So the email is right down there, anni.aleksandrov@ria.ee. You can come and talk to me about this as well. That we can tell you about this thing. But yeah, the Cybersecurity Innovation Grant is something that if you are interested in what it is, then just Google it. Innovation and Research Development Grant for Cybersecurity Companies at Estonian Business Innovation Agency. I think they are our partners. So it's 60 to 100,000 euro grant for innovation in your cybersecurity companies. You know, if you if you want to talk about this, come find me, and then we'll talk about this. All right. With that, I'm going to close this. It's the next time we'll see you here is on 19th of March. And like Tiina said, if you want to come and participate in this roundtable yapping session, then it's 4 o'clock, and we'll have a nice little room here for this. And if you want to come for this rest of it, then it's 6 o'clock, like all the time Thank you very much. Thank you everybody who's watching us online, live or on demand. And have a good night, guys.